Sunday in Garfield County, Colorado. Floyd and Lisa Green watched their daughter Caitlin perform a goodbye song to the congregation at the Rocky Mountain Baptist Church. This will be their last service.
Just for the concern of our family, we are going to pack up. We're leaving. We're moving back east, and we're having to start completely over.
The couple have lived in the town of Rifle for nearly 3 years. Floyd, a welder, often works for the natural gas industry, an industry which has grown rapidly here over the last decade.
Be really careful with that.
And an industry which they say has poisoned them.
Because the contaminants do come in the air, we constantly smell the fumes from the condensate tanks, which in essence cause headaches, sometimes nausea, diarrhea, nosebleeds, muscle spasms, and those are all the symptoms that our family's been experiencing.
Can you smell it? I can taste it.
The Greens say that an invisible chemical menace is emanating from several natural gas wells and storage tanks near their property.
Most of the time all you see is from the burners there, just the remnants, what's coming out from what's been burned. And on occasions we have experienced just a massive fog coming out of the tanks.
The couple says their problems go beyond their own health.
They've been just dying. Last night we took the rooster in, and I got up early this morning to check on him, and he was gone.
One of our goats, she gave birth to a head and then to a full body a month early. And that's when I'm like, well, what's going on?
Producing natural gas can release potentially dangerous chemicals. Chemicals like toluene, hydrogen sulfide, and benzene, a known carcinogen.
These noxious odors, they smell bad for a reason. I call these the backyard impacts, where people have wells being drilled in their yards, sometimes very near their houses.
Garfield County is at the heart of Colorado's natural gas gold rush. Some 8,000 wells are here in Garfield County. Increasingly, they are being built and operated near where people live.
We're seeing regional air pollution levels on the rise. Things like smog, which you usually find in big cities.
Beth and Bill here again. We're just filming the flames for you right now. It's Monday, October 18th.
This video was shot by Bill and Beth Strudley near their home in Silt.
And we couldn't get out of here fast enough, so a lot of stuff like the Christmas tree and that was just left.
Last August, a gas company erected a rig near their property, and since then, they too have complained of health problems.
It turns out in the end that we weren't a bunch of hypochondriacs. Our whole family got so sick that we had to leave this house.
We paid $520,000 for this house in 2005, and the air is bad. Who would want to live in this house? You know, it's basically like a meth lab.
While there have been hundreds of air quality complaints here in Colorado, the industry says they take health issues seriously.
The natural gas industry cannot dismiss any complaint that we receive from communities or citizens within the communities where we operate. And I think we have to use scientific processes and methodologies to make sure that we're really finding the source, and that we're not using conjecture, we're using science.
But the science is incomplete. The state of Colorado is just beginning to grasp the health impacts of natural gas drilling. Emissions from natural gas wells are poorly monitored, and the origin of certain harmful chemicals is difficult to pinpoint.
We also drive around in cars that have benzene at about 1% in the gas tank. So we're all exposed to low levels of benzene as we go about our life.
The Colorado School of Public Health just released the first draft of a report which seeks to understand the health impacts of natural gas drilling in Garfield County. But John Adgate, who co-authored the study, says air quality impacts are inconclusive. Most of the evidence on human health have so far been anecdotal.
Anecdotal doesn't mean untrue, but it also means difficult to verify. We know that the chemicals present are hazardous at certain levels. We don't have a good characterization of what the exposures are. Certainly the health effects that you mentioned are classic, known from both the animal and human literature effects of exposure to volatile organic compounds.
How did it come to this? Early efforts to regulate natural gas production largely failed due to strong industry lobbying, which resulted in major exemptions from many federal environmental laws.
In my view, the oil and gas industry has been given a pass from being exempted from most of the environmental protection regulations that apply to other industries.
Weston Wilson retired from the Environmental Protection Agency a year ago, but in 2004 he was involved in a well-publicized whistleblowing case which revealed that the EPA bowed to gas industry pressure to exempt it from federal regulation.
Certainly they were late to the game. They not only were late to the game, they blew the game.
Drilling proponents point to the advantages of natural gas, which burns more cleanly than both coal and oil, and which can reap broad economic benefits.
But the pros, outweigh the cons so much. We have a beautiful hospital here, CMC College that was pretty much done by oil and gas money. Everything is supported off our tax revenue, and the tax revenue base of the oil and gas is what's driving the community, and without it, we're nowhere.
In the meantime, as authorities scramble to understand the health impacts of natural gas development, it is exploding across the nation, increasingly bringing people into close proximity to potentially harmful chemicals.
I understand there has to be industry, and I don't mind the industry being oil and gas or drilling. I in fact support it, but there's got to be a better way to protect ourselves and a better way of doing the process.